This is Majin, and we have some more comic reviews for you. We have Black Science, Justice League Dark, Wolverine and the X-Men Annual, Uncanny Avengers, and Argus 2. Alright, let's do this. Let's do Black Science first. This is Rick Remender's image title. Basically, when I first saw this cover, it reminded me of that old 60s, 70s science fiction. You know, with the one with the half-naked barbarian girl with or space aliens and stuff like that. And the art is really good in this overall. I mean, it really fits the way the story is paced out, the characters, the creatures, the frog-like creatures, the fish creatures. It's just, that part's all great. And what we have here is a story of a man who's, he's with some people, scientists and his family, and they dabbled into the black science. And it looks like they've been teleported to this world, and he's on a mad dash to get back to cool down some equipment, otherwise it's going to blow up, and then they need to go back home. Well, unfortunately for him, there's some tragedy along the way, and then on top of the tragedy, we have them landing not quite in their time. And overall, like I said, it's obviously this isn't going to appeal to everybody because of the art style, but I think overall I really enjoyed it. And I think if you're looking for something a little bit different, something more science fiction-y, more mature, this is definitely for you. If you like naked fish people, women, you might want to consider this also. Okay, next up is Argus number 2. I'm going to be really brief with this one. It basically was kind of, I would say this was kind of boring. I mean, there were some nice things with the Killer Frost part, with her having to, explain, here's who she is, she's got to kill people to survive because she needs their energy. That part was all good, especially the way she was dealing with a mother who needed help, because her son was trapped in a car. But, it basically just, I guess you can say, the reason why I was bored with it is because you had this great beginning, and you have Deathstroke, who is beaten way too easily, and then it goes to the end where just kind of it goes excitement, and the excitement just dwindles down to the end, and you can tell all they're really doing is they're using the second half of this book to really set the stage for what's going to happen in the future. But at the same time, I'm like going, I don't know, it just wasn't exciting enough for me. I don't know what they could have really done different other than, I don't know, do something more, make it more explosive or more action maybe. But it just seemed kind of like, I guess you can say, kind of like a letdown overall. And Forever Evil Justice League Dark number 25. Okay. All of this issue here is basically them saying that Constantine and company are about to fight a character by the name of Blight, and he's way too powerful for them, so they need help. And that's basically the gist of the story. And, again, this is like one of your transition issues, and there's one really inappropriate looking picture right here where it's basically you have this female Swamp Thing who gives birth to a baby boy, and something looks really odd about the art there, but maybe I'm just imagining things. Overall, though, I think the art was decent. The story's decent, but it's nothing exciting. Also, I think this issue is gonna be judged based on what occurs afterwards. Because what they're now gonna be doing is they're gonna be tying everything into the Trinity. I forgot what they call themselves now. The Trinity of Sin, and there's gonna be those major crossovers with all the D-level dark books that nobody's buying. They try to get you to buy it, and I think my guess is, the writing and stuff like that of those books aren't really doing very good right now. This section of the storyline is just really gonna tank, and so I'm not really looking forward to it. I'm not buying all the crossovers. I'm just gonna buy Justice League Dark because that's what I normally buy, and I figure I'll still get the gist of the story anyways. Okay, Wolverine and the X-Men Annual number 1. I really, really enjoyed this. You see, I really love Kid Gladiator. I love the character. He's this little arrogant, punky kid and he's got incredible power and strength because he's Gladiator's son, and he just doesn't get the respect he feels he deserves. And basically what happens is, if you remember before, Gladiator sends his son back up to space to go to the school. And it's like he's like, I hate the Earth. You know, there's all this punching going on, and they eat too much sugar and blah, blah, blah. Horrible, excuse me, horrible place. And then we have the infinity crossover here, where it's just big battle, and you have a nice little bonding moment with son and dad. And eventually what happens is he's allowed to go back on Earth, but then when he's on Earth, he's like, well, the Earth is like, it's basically the exact opposite of what he said that this other up in space was. And you can tell, it's like he doesn't want to admit he loves it on Earth. He loves the people there. So everything that's negative, it's basically what he's really saying is a positive concerning the Earth. And he's basically lying about everything that happens in the space. Now, and I mean, the art's decent. It's nothing like earth-shattering fantastic, but it was just a great, and I thought it was just a great issue where it highlights Kid Gladiator. And like I said, he's one of my favorite characters from the Wolverine and the X-Men, and I've always was wishing that there'd be more of him, and finally I get my wish. And I really, like I said, I really, really enjoyed it. Great personality issue. Finally, Avengers number 14. This technically would have been the good book of the week if it wasn't for Infinity. All I gotta say is, oh my god, people were dying in this issue. 3 potential deaths, and I fully realize that they're not all gonna die. Well, actually, there's 4 potential deaths. Yeah, 4 potential deaths, but my guess is some people they're not all dead. Now, basically what we do is we get Kang at the beginning. He's jumping around to different times and places, and he's gathering a bunch of different characters. There's the May Parker for Spider-Man Venom, there's Strife, there's Iron Man, Doctor Doom 2099, all these different people. And, he's preparing for something. And then you have Sunfire and Rogue trying to go after Wonder Man and Wanda. And it was just, there's some really good action going on here. People got skewered, and there was some blood. There was some serious death going on. I'm not going to spoil who dies, but if you look online, there's a good picture of one of the persons who gets skewered, and that person I think is going to probably survive. I don't say probably. This character will survive, regardless. No, but the way this character technically died was just vicious. Overall, I thought Remender did a great job with the story, and McNiven did a fantastic job with the artwork. Now, I think there was moments in time where maybe some of his art wasn't as strong, but when you look at the action sequences, that part was really good. With the parts where Wanda was creating the spell and she's siphoning off of Simon's energy, that part was great. And even the way all of this part here was all really good too. So, I mean, I really have nothing really bad to say about the Uncanny Avengers. This really delivered on so many different levels. I knew that there's a character dying, and it's like, you see one character bite it, and you're like, oh wow, that was a really good panel. Then you turn a couple pages, another character dies. And you turn a couple more pages, boom, another one gets killed. And I was just like, wow. I mean, even though, like, again, I know this is comic books, and they're not all dead. They're all going to come back. So, but still, it was just great to see that kind of storytelling. It was like one slap after another. So overall, I really enjoyed it. Let me get you a couple codes. Now, my one fear about Ragnarok now is it's just going to go on forever. But that issue 14, though, really made me want more. Okay, there's this. And I'll get you Ragnarok. Here we go. Anyways, if you have any comments or questions, let me know. Rate the video, like the Facebook link. Crunchyroll anime reviews. I'll have more reviews later. So until next time.